help me with some translation. Solo, congratulations on that first map win. Now, up next is going to be Breeze. And at Pacific, we know that this is a map that you guys beat HyperX on, but it can also be 50-50 for you guys. What's your plan?
일단 첫 번째 세트 승리 축하드리고요. 이제 다음 세트가 브리즈인데 사실 젠지가 페렉을 상대로 브리즈에서 승리를 거두기도 했지만 어떻게 보면은 반반 갈 수도 있잖아요. 어떠한 계획이신가요?
저희가 조금 브리즈가 부족했던 부분이 많아서 저희가 마스터즈 오기 전에 준비를 좀 많이 해가지고 조금 그런 부분에 있어서 저희가 자신이 있어서 픽을 했기 때문에 자신은 있습니다.
So before coming into Madrid in Pacific, we saw a lot of points where our breeze was lacking. So we tried really hard. We put in so many hours to fix those and really add on to our breeze. And I think we made the breeze stronger. So we're extremely confident. So all I can tell you is that we're feeling confident.
Ooh, well, after that map and after that, a little bit of a teaser. Cannot wait to see this one. Let's see if Genji can close this out.
Oh, I can't wait to see it either. Genji. Welcome to Masters. What a statement they made here, Mimi and Kukuka. You just can't help but love this team already.
Yeah, I mean, they played incredible. You see it in all of these reactions, just how much it meant to them. But for the squad, it really seemed like they were in control for the first part. But then the last 7 or so rounds of the game, Loud stepped up. Les was out there dropping almost 30. Sadak seemingly couldn't make a wrong call. But Genji still prevailed through that, won 2 critical 1v1 rounds and pulled it off.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, for being a first map in a match here at Masters Madrid, I think it's crazy the amount of overcook and overthinking that has been going into some of these rounds. We know and expect that Genji was going to be a little bit more aggressive from the defense, and actually seeing Loud adapt onto it, as you're saying, like the duel of the minds. Some rounds being crazy just because of it, because of taking not the extra mile, but the extra 3,000 miles.
These teams were so closely matched that it really came down to the little things. There's 2 rounds where Loud plant the spike, go for a reflank, but it's just not planted in quite the right position to win because of it. It really came down to
and what a way to close it.
And yeah, I mean, that clutch, beating Les in that situation to end the match is ridiculous.
There is just something about Loud on Icebox. It just feels unlucky at this point. But let's take a look at Texture and QCK, because we were very, very hype about both of these players coming into this. Kukuka, what did you make of their performances?
I think that QCK struggled a lot on the attack. He was not finding the impact that you would expect from a Jet coming onto Icebox, knowing the support that it was coming with it. And I think that Loud had to help in that regard. I think he went 0 and 4 in those first duels just on the attack. On the other side for Texture, I think that he was one of the pivotal and key parts to making them get into the game and actually find that success later in the game.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I don't think this was the best map for Quick, but for the other side, I mean, Texture was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think both the guys who are big question marks for Genji showed up. We saw Karon being clutch. We just talked about
it. But with Genji, the clutches always go their way. Like,
but there was the question still of could they continue it against the best at an international event against a team like Loud. Not this year. But yeah, I think that they have proven that these players can still compete at this level and still have that consistency that they did show back in Pacific.
Yeah, I mean, Loud, they have a lot to do now for map 2. But first, let's hear what STK has to say ahead of that map with Mika Fabs.
Hey guys, Mika Fabs here once again, and I'm now with Coach Pugh and Arthur to help me with some translation. Now, Coach Pugh, we saw that Genji, that map was really, really close. So this roster is a bit of an unknown for a lot of people. So how did you guys prepare for this match?
Então, como é que vocês fizeram para preparar com esse novo roster da Genji?
Eles foram um time que jogaram muitos jogos na região deles, talvez o time que mais jogou no mundo no kickoff. Jogaram muitos mapas, então, por mais que eles tenham mudado na line-up, a gente tem muito material deles para estudar.
So overall, like they prepared with a lot of maps that they had, like even having like new players or not, that was not an issue for them.
Awesome. Well, let's see if Loud can make a comeback in this one.
Now they do have to make a comeback, but they've done it before. Let's not forget that this is a Loud that ended up winning a trophy at Champs. But Kukuka, we don't know what they do on Breeze. What would you like to see on Breeze?
I mean, nothing too crazy. Maybe a little bit of innovation or something that they may have picked up for other reasons. And I love that you mentioned in Champs, because that is probably the last time that we saw them playing on that Breeze. It's been a very hot minute. And as we were saying before, they have been banning this map constantly during kickoff. But we can also think that that was a strategy, or maybe something that wasn't ready by the time.
Yeah, we have Aegis Select ready now, so let's take a look and see where we are going to go. And Mimi, what do you think of this?
Loud is playing the default comp. It is interesting. They've been cooking on 4 out of their 7 maps with the Phoenix, Breach stuff, but I think both on Icebox and here on Breeze, that doesn't really work. You do need that dive agent, and we've seen teams try out the Yoru like Gen G, which is new, and I want to talk more about that composition, because it's Meteor of all players locking in the Yoru here. It's the only flashes they have, and honestly, I really like this comp there.
I love the fact that they're playing this double duelist. We know what the Yoru is capable of doing in this map. The support that is going to come onto Texture, I think that this is one of the most important duos. We know how comfortable they are also playing on that double controller. I think that the way, especially that now that they're starting on the defense, after they're up 1 map, if they have a strong start, if they manage to get those mind Yoru games into the heads of Loud, this should be a 2-0.
This is the map, Breeze, that is the aim check map, the mid-rounding check, where it'll go into the most chaos. So for me, I'm really looking at Loud needing to step up. We need more out of QCK as the sole jet on this team. We need to see the Sadak, who is pulling off the perfect calls towards the end of Breeze, or a Genji, who is looking incredibly hot right now, might have a big upset on their hands.
And also think about it, Loud knew exactly that Genji might bit into this, but Genji is not scared. They're also bringing in something new. We were talking about how important the anti-strat, the preparation coming into the match is, but for this one, it's not going to be that simple.
Absolutely, and for Gen G, right? Like, this is a team where I think that element of surprise can help them out a lot. They tend to play a lot of default comps, a lot of normal stuff. Them coming out and having new ideas for Madrid, I think is really good for a squad like this that has shown the fundamentals. I like them taking this extra step by trying to get ahead on the meta and come up with not necessarily an original comp, but something different from what they've shown before.
I think it's funny because we say it's not original just based off what we see for a month. You know, it's like, it's been just a month, but
I mean, a lot of teams played this Yoru comp.
Yeah, but Breeze wasn't even in the map for sure. You know, it doesn't really, but if we go into think about how this first map went and how aggressive they were and the success that they were finding into bringing back that chaos that we have been mentioning during the day, I think that this is probably what they intend with this composition, is not only being aggressive every round, is planting the doubt in your opponent's mind that that might be happening.
Think about the implications for Loud, though. The team that has made 7 international events in a row. They've had events where they haven't done well. They bombed out at Copenhagen. They went out early in Tokyo. It happens for them. But this is a team that has expectations when they go to international events to succeed, to beat everyone else, to be one of the best. That's the pressure that's on these players. And they're really on the precipice of being upset here.
Yeah, it would definitely be an upset, but it also would play into the Gen G story, right? This is how they got here. They upset everybody. Maybe Loud is carrying on the NRG curse. I mean, an America's team has to lose to a Pacific team on the opening day. That's just tradition. So with NRG not being here, somebody else has to do it. But I want to give some credit to Solo, because we want to talk about old guards. When Lakia was here at the last global event, Solo was his teammate. They played on the same team together.
I forgot Solo was on that team. That's crazy.
So the fact that Solo is being able to kind of go from the playing career into a coach and also come up with all these cool things and structure things that we've seen, we got to give him some credit.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely do. Gen G, if there's one word to describe them, it has been disciplined throughout their run in Pacific. They're really good at kind of doing things right in the late round, at setting each other up well with utility, at playing the basics, the fundamentals at a really high level. Sure, it sometimes descends into the clutches, into the badness. They can thrive there too. But I think that's the identity that Solo has instilled in this team.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, this was just one map. I know that we're very surprised by the performance that we saw there at Pacific, but I think that going into the tournament, Gen G is going to be able to learn a lot from their opponents. I think that from this Icebox, even just today, after this day is over, they're going to have a lot to learn, and I don't think they're going to be the kind of team where next team is going to beat Icebox into them and kind of dismantle them. I don't think they're the kind of team that is going to struggle with that.
Well, earlier we asked you guys at home to vote in the Mastercard fan poll on which international league will win it all. I wonder if things might change.
Hey, okay, let's be honest.
This game.
Let's be honest, Sue. Everyone who voted Americas
was you.
Was
no,
part of Sen
no,
City.
was Sentinels. Everyone who voted Americas is Sentinels. The question's not in Portuguese. It's in English. It's all Sentinels
Well,
fans.
I am Spanish and I speak English. And you say
That's true. I mean, obviously, Brazilian fans also do speak
you're
English.
telling
Some
me
of
no
them.
one from Heretics voted here because
I feel like you're putting some words in my mouth that I didn't really say.
All I'm going to say is I want to run this poll again tomorrow, depending on what happens later today, and see. But I'm going to put a pin in that because the map is ready. We are also ready to dive into Breeze and hand this over to your casters. Here's Pansy and Hyperlock.
Yeah, I don't really know what we're walking into, Mike, if I'm completely honest with you. We kind of theory
We're free balling. We're free balling right here, to be honest.
Free falling, I think, is actually the phrase.
Yeah.
But no, genuinely, because we were kind of like theory crafting veto and kind of talking through options and what we thought might come out. Breeze was never in that conversation.
No, it isn't. And to see Genji now pull out a little bit of a switch up as well is a massive concern for Loud, because through all of the Phoenix and Breach and all of the, call it madness, call it overkicking, whatever, we come out here with this composition on Breeze. So that does actually bring into question whether or not it was left out here, and you know what even happened with the veto. And again, won't speculate until we do get an answer or something in an interview. But was this a potential to see today for Loud? Period. And if so,
Look,
what's the response to that? Because if you look at the rest of the map pool with QCK coming in here, and I mean, I was having this conversation the other day with GB, you make anybody play that much Phoenix and they don't come out looking like the best duelist in the world. I'm sorry, they just don't. So to come in here and sure, it could be a bit of a reassurance that we do see him on the jet. It's a bit more of a vanilla comp. Then maybe Loud dial back into, you know, where they're
classic.
Yeah.
Loud. It does feel like they somewhat baited the veto, right? You know what I mean? Like you permaban something for an entire season. Basically, well, I say entire season, it was kickoff, so let's, you know.
Yeah, and again, it's weird because it feels like a small sample size, yeah.
But for what it is, it was their perma takeaway, and then to adjust and leave it open as an option. You know, if you're Gen G, you think, well, surely that's...
Breeze is such a... for me, it always becomes such a question mark on the day. Another team can simply just out-frag you and beat you on Breeze. Unfortunately, that's just the way it happens sometimes. So to have it as kind of like a maybe, that's why I'm hoping for Loud. It's just something. It's something of a pocket pick.
You're hoping so, right? You're bloody hoping so.
Is your permaban your pocket pick?
My brain hurts and I'm scared because if I'm going to be honest, you know, I'll be transparent. First time for everything in esports. Icebox I thought was going to go Loud's way, just because.
Sure.
From what I'd seen, what I expected, I thought, okay, I'll put it there. Close game, but Loud's favour.
For all intents and purposes, this should now be a 2-0 in my eyes.
If we're going off
don't get me wrong,
what we've seen, what we expect, I don't know.
Genji didn't look fantastic at this regionally.
No.
I mean, they struggle versus RRQ, and to come out now with a new composition and something a little bit quirky, which Loud have stood the test of time playing against teams like, you know, international teams, the teams that bring out curveballs, your Fnatics, your HyperXs. Is this going to work? When you take map 1 in the nature that it did, it might.
I don't know. There's a lot of theory crafting, right? We can sit here and just kind of talk it around the houses. There is a little bit of delay. If you didn't notice, there's not like a tech pause delay. Like they haven't done the house.
They haven't flown a banner. I think they did that
so that's a
on
short
purpose.
One. You know, that's a short one when they're not doing that, which is a good thing. So sorry, watch parties. You'll have to actually say something to your chat for a little while. You know, get to work. You can just chill out afterwards once the game starts, like normal, Sliggy. But genuinely,
that's who you were throwing shade. I was curious of who you were directing at.
Yeah. Gotta go.
Sliggy's definitely drawing something right now.
You reckon? He's on the map?
Well, he should be.
Let's put just a chair on the string.
All the dead footage we've got going on here. Oh, for once, they didn't put us back on camera. Usually it must be...
That is because of producer Kevin. We've bribed him enough, and we just start swearing at the camera, so he knows better. But no, we love producer Kevin, one of our favourites. And now you've said that, there is a very high chance he'll just throw us on camera. So I'm going to sit down.
There'll be a flash of us ahead of the map starting. I do see...
The countdown's begun.
I do see a clock ticking down.
Sorry for the delay, folks. It's us. So since Mike's back, thought we'd treat you again. But roll your mind back just a moment or two ago. Map 1 was mental. 13-11. Gen
I still
G.
can't believe that ending.
What an end. Less's clutch, the defused the round after. It was wild. So let's, hope we get a little bit of that. But no one knows, because Breeze was Loud's permaban. Gen G didn't look fabulous, but the new comp, it's all unknown now. Loud on the attack, Gen G on the defense. What the hell's going on, Dan?
Sure, and really for me, early on we need to see some sort of comfort from Loud, because obviously there were a few hit and miss rounds, a few 50-50s that didn't go their way on map 1, but coming into the question mark here on Breeze, definitely want to see them composed and in control here. And they're going to drift very quickly over towards B. No real confirmations, I mean, other than deep down halls, the whereabouts of Gen G, but Munchkin and Karen posted up here, as I say that. Munchkin actually drifting out, but contact is found elsewhere.
Yeah, look how quick Les has got to this as well. He was so deep by that point. By the time they got contact, he was just by the pillar anyway. Good trade out for Munchkin, can at least keep touch somewhat on this. But again, it's not like QCK is stopping. He's really trying to take a lot of space here. Meteor and him very close by, but doesn't really make much odds. You're looking at the likes of Munchkin. You're then looking at 2Es. It's kind of, the fight on the fight, but who gets the timing on each other here? And actually, looking at this, Munchkin's got a lot of room. Finally noted by 2Es. Good timing to turn. QCK not going to spot Meteor. Crossing and Loud. Very comprehensive pistol there.
And never really in doubt. The trade comes through and Loud able to just steamroll their way onto B site. See if we do see Gen G toy with the idea of any purchases once again.
Yeah, because they went for that Stinger buy,
Yeah,
didn't they, before?
the Stinger purchasing the Sheriffs to follow up as well. Let's clean up here from Cow and Zine. Maybe looking for, I mean, we don't say this often, but maybe looking for some early confidence boosters for Loud. It's not often they ever really have to rely on those.
But hey, it's, I think seeing the teams that have come out to this, hey, nice, there we go. Not bad at all. Did actually take damage from that too, but seeing the kind of change of the guard, right? Yes, I'd say that Loud are one of the only remaining old gods here. There's very few who've been able to stand out, and yeah, of course there's roster changes to it, but still at least having a core who's been to previous events. It's a whole different world this year in Valorant, and I think a lot of teams know it. And right now, Gen G showing us a great deal. Good little work from Les there, unfazed by the pressure over towards pushing out on B. A little bit of attempt in middle. This round, somewhat of a throwaway, it feels like, as it is just kind of that Marshall and 2 classics. That's it.
QCK looking to explore, though. Hey, Les actually pulling a rotation here, was not Meteor and Lakia considering digging him out, not with the rotation coming through. So Karen will be called upon here. Sadak just turns his head at the wrong moment, but 2Es from the back lines. And QCK with his deep position will punish Lakia's rotation. Meteor just going to try and get an orb. Constellation will find a third from his death. There's some early progress towards it, but really much else for Gen G really to work off of. QCK does catch a glimpse. And a 49 HP though. Did take the tag with the classic. The third on the round for him.
Outlaw wins. But still, I mean, it's just like, in my mind, I don't know what I make of this yet. It's still so early. I'm still waiting for it to crumble. I think map 1's left me reeling. I'm nervous about this game, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, already, like I said, if you look at this veto, obviously, Breeze's surprise, yes, but like I said, I wasn't buying into it too much, but I still would have expected Loud to come out on top on Icebox. Just seeing regionally where Gen G struggled and where you'd expect a team like Loud and what we know of Loud to really excel at. I mean, Loud losing out on clutches, right? Coming down to 1v1s and then losing a map because of it.
Yeah, that doesn't feel right, but a little bit of a different look here. Loud, straight up tube. No subtlety to it. The Flash going to ring the dinner bell, and everyone's in response. Actually, Sadak the one to succeed there, taking down Meteor. That opens up the map. That causes such an issue. Put Munchkin now on his own, basically. If they can hold this, make it a problem, Texture's going to have to bail him out big here, which maybe he does. It is Texture, unless has his eyes away from the prize, and Texture with the punish. Oh, not quite there, but the headshot was. QCK living through that, and pressure elsewhere again. I'm really surprised they're drifting at these times, trying to find this, information or trying to take space. Karen's been noted, so it's no surprise he's here either. They know that he's going to be still around. That spike is still in spawn. This is what I mean. I don't know what to make of this map. Tui's going to go down, and now Sadak overwhelmed. What is happening?
I'll be honest, a really bizarre setup on both sides of the coin here. Gen.G, he said, drifting out in a number of different positions. Meteor gives his life up early, a rifle retained, but Loud unable to really convert that into any sort of snowball throughout that round. It seemed like a very, very strange round to watch back. Some damage done, but Gen.G retain. I mean, as much as they need, Lackey is going to come into this with a Guardian, but it's about as even as you'd expect coming into round 4 here. How this started. Sadak the closest at 2 off the null command. Actually, Meteor 2 off his as well with that early orb retrieval.
And it just feels like, okay, previous round, Loud, walk tube. This time, all right, we'll do the same.
Yeah, Gen.G, yeah, very quick to try and respond to it. QCK already top mid. Kawanzine in, I was going to say, in a position to support him there, but Munchkin shuts it down.
Yeah, and I was waiting to see if Tui's actually gets played in further on this. Possibly, but as it stands, this is just scrappy fights. Meteor gonna grab that one, but that felt like a 50-50. 5v3 now, Sadak less than Tui's with no real foothold in this map. Losing 2 towards middle gives them very little beyond it. They're gonna have to re-clear tube somewhat diligently. Walking into it late. Eyes wide shut, and now Sadak, gotta be careful, there's 2 players here. Again, individual fights. You're kind of banking on Tui's finding some value here, maybe catching a rotate after Sadak's taken contact. You've got to be looking at Tui's. And yeah, well, it's lucky to go down. And now the round feels, I don't know, this is feeling like it's all in the hands of Tui's, right? Like, how much more can one man do? A great deal, apparently. Tui's can do so much for them. Munchkin now in the undesirable position of having to deal with 3, and his pressure up tube was everything.
Less down at 14 HP, but a 1v3 nonetheless. 70 for Munchkin. Doesn't even look like he's really too interested in going for this.
Oh, you look at Les's position, even if you just hold it, he'd be
He might even
valuable.
catch Les here.
Oh, I'm surprised Les went that far. I kind of thought he'd just maybe hold down by pillar. Maybe looking to remove the rifle from Munchkin. But again, these rounds feel scrappy. They don't feel as refined as I was hoping.
Definitely not. Again, obviously talking about where this lies in the map pool and the overlap of these 2 teams. No surprise really, but you'd hope really, with this being left as an option, potential to see it, that Loud would be well equipped, and at least here with a 3-1 scoreline, they're able to keep Gen.G in check. No nonsense from Meteor on the Yoru just yet. But yeah, I mean, Tui's just doing Tui's things here.
That was very nice. I mean, that's how you basically save a round that wasn't his favorite or what? I think it was like Sadak who was stuck.
I mean, yeah, they didn't really
right?
have control of anything outside of where spawn barriers are, so.
Yeah. Well, hero rifle left on Munchkin, that's it. The rest are down on Sheriff's. Light armor, I think, behind it, and Marshall. You got Meteor's ult, but you're not gonna, you know, bring that out now, I feel.
Definitely not now.
No, very little chance of that, actually. Clean work from QCK. And, well, we're going to see the rifle shown off there. So Munchkin, they're going to note his positioning. Not a surprise. I mean, this has been his sight the entire time. That's not going to be a, you know, a head turner, really. But it's going to, if anything, maybe force Loud to commit to this a little harder.
The utility sent in towards A here, but no follow-up just yet. Loud happy to give QCK some time to explore a little deeper. Obviously the goal here for Gen.G is still a little bit of damage on the way in. Lucky posted up close with a ghost, but yeah. As I say, if Kawanzine sends the owl drone out, going to be spotted out very quickly. Munchkin, see on the X-ray here, trying to find a flank, but Tui's posted up for it.
Oh,
no
God.
way. That timing is ridiculous.
It felt like they were pausing for this. Genuinely, and now can they get away with daylight robbery? No. Very well aware of the possibility of them pushing closer towards the entrance, and is very precise towards the site here for Loud. Again, Munchkin was really the only one coming in with a rifle for Gen.G this round, so he was the only one expected to do a little more, perhaps, but Again, the post plant, very difficult to break. Not gonna have. Oh!
Oh my God!
Get out of it, Munchkin. Come on now. You're not meant to be doing that. You're not meant to be doing that. It's not meant to even feel that close. A valiant attempt, but it's a round for Loud regardless.
That would have been one hell of an ace, though.
My brain was in the next round. That man was trying to pop off. Ridiculous.
How close is he? I mean, he wasn't far off. He was not far off. Yes,
Okay.
a sigh of relief for Loud to find their fourth. Loud rinse and repeat, though, Lauren.
Yeah, but look at this quick attention to middle. It's Larky who's aware. Oh, the drop of that is just perfect. Teed up for it. Caron smartly and rightly going to pressure the extremities, and he's actually going to be able to isolate the spike. That's gone down and it's in his hands, but he needs the rest of Gen G to back him up, and then not. Less than QCK with effective trading, keeping them going in the right direction. It's going to be, again, Caron is your last line of defense, right? Like, he's the one holding that spike back. He knows where these remaining players are. They know where Sadak was because he was taken down earlier, and obviously QCK with the res. So now how do they approach this? I'm surprised that Munchkin's drifting this far away. And it's going to be Caron on the chopping block, right? Like, how does he handle this pressure? You got presence from both sides. Does he commit towards one side of the fight? Does he try and just live in the corner?
I mean, Caron seemingly, I'm just looking at the minimap here, it looks like he has a decent read, but it's Munchkin to find QCK.
Beautiful.
Sadak, 60 HP now, has to retrieve this spike. Still plenty of time to work with, though.
I was worried the Munchkin might have left Caron out to dry, but that's not the case at all. Caron held that spike down, kept them safe for the round, and Munchkin catching QCK just before that impact point.
It's just some really bizarre round. Like I said, Breeze can be whoever frags harder on the day, and there's very little nuance to what we're seeing.
Oh, that's
okay,
what he caught.
that's what he caught.
Because I was like, where did he just get that angle from? Beautiful. Risky play as well to go all the way around top mid to that and hope that he didn't cross ahead of it.
Yeah. But yeah, already what I've seen so far, Loud obviously trying to keep Gen G on red alert that somebody's going to constantly pressure up halls, be up towards switch, and really cause some problems on A. Potentially opening up the rest of the map for them, but well, Lakia now posted up with a Guardian. Shut down QCK on that very mission.
That's a bit naughty, that is. Oh, Munchkin, though, so overwhelmed. Less with a quick shot. And Texture now feeling quite vulnerable. There's a little bit of room that he's not safe, and you can see the response potentially as well. Meteor getting a bit closer. Lakia trying to apply a little bit of pressure, trying to give him a way out of dodge here. And Karanzine was so blind, but it's too easy to punish Meteor. And middle is being won by Loud until now. Can Texture change? Side, he can't. Sadak with just a pistol. Gonna put him to bed in a 1v2 now. Caron before did so well to isolate that spike, but I love this quick read from him.
Yeah.
Really smart and quick adjustment. Does he expect 2Es? He does with 2Es. Snappy adjustment. Loud stretching the lead.
Third on the round for him with the Guardian. Loud coming in, definitely disadvantaged there. Yeah, Gen G maybe feeling a little rattled after that one. Obviously some investment thrown into it. Loud, yeah, definitely looking like they're happy to just commit to gunfights and feeling confident that in terms of just, I guess, the basic fundamentals that they're going to win out in some of these rounds. Will Gen G have anything cooked up in terms of proactivity on the defense that, you know, whether it be around Meteor or anyone else in that regard?
It has been a quiet beginning between Texture, Caron, and Meteor. I got to say credit for Caron there. One of the rounds was pretty much his gathering as well. You know, the nice little catch of the cross as well. But I'd say they're a little bit quiet, not seeing those individuals finding that impact.
Sure. I mean, also for Gen G, this could just be damage control in the first half. Obviously, expecting this composition to be able to deliver and excel when they are able to attack. But
sure. But there's going to be a limit.
That feels very risky, especially if it's such a question mark with Loud not showing anything here.
Well, that's the thing. You can't come in with prep for Gen G, right? There's
no
tape on Loud.
If anything, Loud should be in like the upper hand because there's so much tape on Gen G. They showed everything from the map pool, and yeah, we've seen a little change here. But the fact that Loud aren't really tried and tested from kickoff on Breeze themselves, you can't then just bring that in as well, it's blank canvas, really.
Yeah, and I think Gen.G might have to learn on the fly, and I think this is a really good test of can they learn on the fly? Is there something they can maybe implement into this game, in this half specifically, to be able to try and get a grip on Loud here, because Loud's starting to get quite the firm upper hand, and this round feeling very uncomfortable as well for Gen.G, considering they are down to the Sheriffs. I think there's a Guardian there, yes, for Meteor. Is Karen actively playing this? Going to play into the smoke. Yeah, there, he's dead.
Yeah,
there it is. This is site control. They have rotations, but again, this could be a plant pretty quickly. Wall dropped, and now away we go. Texture here. Already, you can note Meteor has drifted up closer as well. This is a tough angle for QCK, actually. He could be overwhelmed here, but fortunately, he's got the boys by his side, and it's comfortable for Loud. Look at this.
No real threat whatsoever. Munchkin. Oh, Steery's got a trip in front of him. Nobody saw. We didn't see that. We get a kill though? No. It's going to be a flawless coming through here. Allowed to find their sixth. Feeling very comfortable in terms of the pace of Breeze so far. And Gen.G not really taking the fight to them in the majority of these rounds. I mean, the pink didn't even come through there instead before the Owl drone even revealed his position.
One enemy remaining.
They're going to need to see a switch up. Maybe in this round, yeah, exactly. Ultimate's available here.
Decent
Operator
purchase.
back in hand of Texture.
Well, he's going for it, right? If he's willing to stick on this, he's in a bit of danger. Flash will catch, but he's going to be able to retake the angle there, and they are falling off. So now look at where they're starting to commit. Look at the difference. Look at Munchkin.
Munchkin
is
is just charging.
full W key.
He's going to get heard.
They haven't turned.
Well, it got pinged out on the minimap.
Yeah, okay. Oh, it's laboured, but a 1-for-1 trade. Well, I don't know what Gen.G are up to as well. This allows texture room. That's nice. That's the spike. That's huge.
Noted, yeah.
That's huge. Win out in middle, though. So varying wins on varying fronts. No one's finding comfort. The spike's back in hand. And now Texture trying to control A, but they've lost middle, so you can already see that Charon's gone down because there was no structure to support. Lockyer playing ahead here. Nowhere to fall back to. What is going on?
Really
This feels
uncomfortable
horrible.
viewing, yeah. Allowed able to just pick Gen.G apart across the map. This sort of play style not suiting them here on Breeze. They've only got anything to set Meteor or Texture in motion on the defensive side here. Munchkin, like I said, was on a mission from the get-go. He was not slowing down. Desperate to look for a flank and commit to it.
But the way you said it then, desperate. It felt very desperate. It didn't feel well thought out.
Remaining.
And again, all of them trying to make these individual plays to try and maybe get something in favor, but there's no trades coming off it. There's no space going to be taken off the back of it that's favorable. They look really lost here. And maybe they don't want to hit another timeout, but they've got to do something. Look to a different site now. First time we're really seeing this B side tested. No look towards middle from Loud, so this is going to be quite all in if they continue along this path. Already mid can be taken by Gen.G, so hard to fall back away from, but they are. So now do they punish rotations? If you're Loud, you're looking to maybe catch one in middle. You're looking for players out of position, and Texture may be one of them. Sheriff could sing here, though. It's just not going to hold tune at this point. And they fall away towards A, and they're just being drawn around the map.
It's similar to what we saw Loud try and do on Icebox.
Yeah.
Show presence one side and very quickly try and catch rotations or even get ahead of rotations. Just slowly back into a little bit of control here towards bottom mid. Less punishing on the other side, though. Finally finds that pick onto Meteor. Comes in, get spotted there. No, I thought maybe Lackey had spotted a rifle barrel, but
Sadak, probably the easier target than most, down a little lower. The spam, it works.
was that completely through the smoke?
I think it was. Okay, now it's getting scary because it's 20 seconds and QCK goes into bailout mode and you've got to keep going. It's 19 seconds and they've got the spike. It's Texture playing bodyguard duty, trying to keep it safe. Pressure from the left, pressure from the right. Counting going to take down Texture and his game on towards the side. Spike should go down uncontested. And what can Munchkin do now? There was a little bit of hope there. There was a heartbeat, a new lease of life, and that has been put down. Less keeps things going. Loud, fully in control here. Gen.G looking unprepared here.
Yeah. to be honest.
Compared to map 1?
There's not enough coordination here to really put either of the power players here, this composition, Texture and Meteor, in a position to really deliver. Yeah, I mean, obviously Lakia can only really do so much on a Sova here to put his duelist in, you know, an opportunity or a scenario to really find anything. But we're not even seeing Gen.G rely on that.
No.
To be honest,
it just feels so
it's dry, individual, laboured fights across the map, and Louder, I mean, I said it before, they're completely dissecting them.
Oh, they'll lap it up. Tag? Okay. Yeah, tag on Kaunzin. Texture. Got a notes on this utility potentially, so that could tee him up for some success. They are getting close towards that B site. Munchkin's position, dependent on the judge. Would have support from Caron, but starting to get a little anxious about this. Munchkin. Oh dear, oh dear, oh, it's absolutely atrocious. He's not going to be happy about that. Again, individual fight here. And numbers starting to really favour Loud. 4 standing, make it back to 5. Texture going to catch, I think, through the wall, potentially.
Just off the res, yeah. Sat back on his feet for a second, but immediately shut down.
QCK, with this position, yeah, he's feeling himself. He wants to get ahead. Maybe didn't need to do that. Could have been patient. Deciding he wanted to try and make a bit of a difference. Oh, going to go in now. I don't know how much of the spike that covers. Kalanzine, though, going to feel the scrutiny here. Oh, stunning. Spotting a pixel out of the place, and that's Texture dead. Kalanzine looking for fault, not going to get it. Meteor with the trade, but it's a little late. But now a 2v2. Tap on the spike and the spray. Not going to get what they want here.
Not again.
It's still going.
Not again.
Not again. Oh, there it is. Tui's this time going to make sure it doesn't go the wrong way for them.
Last round before the
This is heartbreaking for Munchkin. The consideration from Loud. The null command comes through, removes the poison orb. Basically negates any possibility for Munchkin to find value with the judge up close and personal there. On the brink of a 10-2 half hit.
poison's gone.
Yeah, this feels like this map pick is a complete and utter shock. Really, that Loud was so prepared for it. Keep in mind, this is Genji's pick.
Loud, pretty good on their permaban.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just, it's really bizarre. Like I said, this could have been the intention of Gen.G to play damage control in the first half and then really try and run away with this composition in the second, but it's a tall order to work back from 2 rounds.
I don't think 2's enough. You know, I just don't think it is. And I'd prove me wrong. I'd love it. Texture. Thought he might fancy a go of it there. Opted against it in the end. He's maybe going to hear some of these rotations. I think he is. So he's really quite poised in the right place.
Right, he's going to get cleared here.
Ult from quite far away, so he is on his own. Lovely from Texture. That's what they needed. Get him a 3rd, and maybe there's a little bit of hope, a little bit of something. Have to see a great deal on that second half, but for now, finally seeing Loud with a disadvantage of numbers. Players in the right place as well. Spike still heading towards that A site. You can see them waiting patiently. Caron, one of them. Divide going to come in. Oh, Kaunzine, the combo with that is just rotten to handle. Texture still trying to be pivotal to the outcome because Loud are clawing this one back. He's down to a 3v3 now, and he's just out of it, and Lex going to lap that up.
How are they flipping this?
I don't know, but Meteor just right up in between them now, surrounded on both fronts. Tries to take a fair fight, but there's nothing fair about that. Munchkin now just too late to the party. Tries, and actually might do a little bit of chip damage to Tui's here if he doesn't get himself out of danger. And Tui's taking a lot of damage from this.
Both of them.
That's a little surprising as Munchkin now ready for it, gets it. He gives them the tiniest of margins. 3 rounds, Mike. I don't know if it's enough.
They'll have to have something crazy to execute here in the second half, but they said the margin is so small for error. It's a team like Loud who just look, I mean, they've come out of map 1 looking pissed off.
Yeah, they do.
Like they're happy to just dig their heels and commit to these engagements. Nothing really too special or much flair to Loud's gameplay.
Simplistic.
Either. Very simplistic.
But
Just what you'd expect with this composition coming out.
Yeah, very vintage, classic, good spacing, good executes, nice pull of rotations, but as I said, nothing that's going to change the world. But 3 rounds, that is a lot to pull back from. They're going to have to really pull this one forward into that second half. We'll go to the desk.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypog. Loud, they've not played this map the entire kickoff, and Genji, they picked it against Mimi. Do you think they walked into a trap, perhaps?
I mean, I think they walked into the aim test map, and thus far they have not passed the aim check. Loud's players have been looking so good individually, and I mean, I think they were clearly spending some time practicing this one. They are playing the default comp, they're doing the boring stuff, but the protocols looked good. Everything you expect from this Loud squad, they were showing on first.
Yeah, exactly. And on the other side, we saw a Genji that was over-pushing time and time again.
How many times did Munchkin just sprint down B main like a psychopath?
Yeah, exactly. Time and time again. And the duos are so isolated one from the other. Loud had to do minimum work to get the entire map under control. I saw no apparent impact from the Euro. I don't know about you guys, but you know, in EMEA, it's a force to be reckoned with. Here, it was nowhere to be found but on the death counts.
Yeah, lot of depths in that regard out of this Euro pick. But it seemed like when Genji was running out of ideas, they started to go for these aggressive plays, like Munchkin running down, like some of these.
Yeah, but why is it Munchkin? What I mean, like you have a Euro, he can be aggressive
Munchkin.
and then go back.
He's the ultimate feast or famine. If you're from EMEA, you know Angel. Same guy, I'm convinced.
Let's talk about Tubi's real quick, because it's not less on the Viper this time around.
But same Vipers for Loud, evidently good. Tui's filling into that role beautifully. This guy was so sick in the Americas kickoff, and he's continuing that here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that his position in his off angles, how he's using the utility, everything is definitely looking very good for a map many people did not think we were even going to see from Loud.
Well, Night 3 is a fantastic start. Surely Pansy and Hypog, Loud will never lose a Night 3 lead.
Why have you done that, Sue? Huh? I see that smug little look. Don't turn around. I'm next to you.
It's an interesting throw, that.
All of the desk are being obnoxious right now. They're like, oh, they wouldn't come back from this, would they? Not a chance in hell, Michael.
Let's see the first few rounds, and then I'll
You're willing and ready?
I'll either overreact or say I told you so.
Look, I'm the play-by-play caster here. Let me be the one to overreact. Excuse me? Texture just came pounding in, and he's still alive. Okay, not for long. Well, that was short-lived. And that's, oh God, what? What is going on? Munchkin's a mile away from being relevant to the outcome of this round now. Spike is so deep in enemy territory. And this round was pivotal. This was the only one that could, like, if you lose this, I'm going to be honest, the odds become near on insurmountable and Loud.
Well, I mean, it's going to be a shame. Pissed around as an indicator here. It looks like Genji have worked on a couple of maybe, you know, geeky executes around this Yoru, but I just don't think we're going to have enough rounds to see them, to be honest. Texture looks like he TPs into sight there, but unable to really string anything together with Meteor, and Loud just absolutely dismantle them.
Yeah, he knows it, dude. You see that little smile starting to come on Sadak's face. He's like, yeah, we've got him. 10, very early. Okay. I think this is the difference of having tape and not having tape to a massive extent, and completely walking into a trap. This was Loud saying, oh, did we leave our permaban open?
Oops.
Oh, I can't believe I've done that. Can't believe you've done that. And now, well, there you've got 3 rounds and Loud of 10. So, it's a long old road back, Michael.
It starts with a ghost in the hands of Meteor.
This isn't Cadian's clip. This isn't how it goes. You know, this isn't it. It's not Mirage. All right. It's not. Do you believe Meteor is the one? You think he's gonna what?
No, I think they're gonna walk into Lester's crosshair. Oh.
But they make it out alive.
It's on the first one.
Then what happens in the story?
I must wait a moment.
This is it. They followed that up. It was
kind
of good. Like this.
I was Texture actually almost finding on the backside here. Cow and Zine. But let's find one. Munchkin will fall, but the plant should come through here.
Okay.
Genji an opportunity to reset at least. Texture don't jump onto that, but does find a tag. That's down to 24 now. Are able to stabilize a little bit.
Timing for Caron as well here. Okay, Lucky, that's not bad. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Okay, see, if you'd followed up, if you'd committed to the bit, Michael, this could have been quite outstanding. Considering we are now down to a 2v3, and Lucky is still hitting with the classic. Tui's left reeling with the bulldog. This has gone any other way than he expected. What a ridiculous round, and Genji He can catch Lakia, that's fine. You still had to get past Karen. You still had to get past Texture. And you don't have a chance at it. Time to back away, try and keep that Bulldog in hand. What a turn of events here. Gen G, they're not out of it yet.
See actually what the knock-on effect of that is if... I mean, now... I don't think saved enough to really get SMGs or comfortably get anything back into this, but... I mean, Lakia, double D's got. Definitely the Gen G.
Gotta be.
Hitting a little different there from range. Oh, yeah. Was that a right click? I couldn't actually see the ammo counter, but it was a right click. Beautiful. Love to see those.
Okay, one Bulldog. Sheriff. A couple of classics. Oh. Texture. There we go. Okay, Genji getting fired up here. And they make it to 5. Tui's was the danger man. And he has done damage, but takes a fair bit himself. So, yeah, Texture's just been let off the leash, hasn't he, really? So go frag. Go get some kills. Get the game going.
Now, we did see that on Icebox as well. The first round that Gen G actually won. We saw what Loud call a timeout at 4-2 to their advantage to try and slow down the momentum of stringing together a couple of pacey hits. Well, Gen G going to try and repeat that here on Breeze. They definitely need to. A 6-round deficit soon to maybe be 5.
Last player standing.
Texture's had a round.
Yeah.
Go on. Find us. All right. That's how you get warmed up.
Those are the momentum builders. Gen G up to 5 now. Now we'll be back on a purchase here, but there won't be anything left in the bank after that. No ultimates at their disposal. Gen G on the brink of a Blade Storm. Texture already taking control of this second half, and QCK unfortunately just face plants into the bricks. Able to get away from that, but with the purchase here, you do favour Gen G.
Okay. When do we... It's early. I'm asking... Wow.
Spirit's still high.
Yeah. They're mapped to the good. That'll be all right. Maybe. It's not scary yet. Loud still have a 5-round buffer.
Oh, hang on a second!
Is just ripping them apart, and as are Gen G. This guy has been truly let off the leash. Straight in there, no messing about. Ferocious on approach, and the site's theirs.
Absolutely sweeps a site.
And if you're QCK, you're saving, right?
Oh, definitely,
that
yeah.
operator's not going to be risked. For less, what do? You got 350 credits? Cool.
I mean, maybe do a little bit of damage. You got Munchkin and Texture down, but Meteor's found QCK.
How's he done that? Was he actually peeking out from like?
And now the problem is Les has to try and hold on to the rifle, or I mean, Gen G maybe expecting him to go towards the operator. But a beautiful continuation of this pace by Gen G. You can see Loud just get absolutely sucker punched, to be honest. Completely caught off guard.
And it was almost so disrespectful how confident he was at getting in there. Like, 1, I was like, oh, fair play.
Well,
2?
Again, seeing, I believe Sadak flashed up behind yellow there.
Yeah.
Was that off Meteor, or is that maybe a high flash from himself? And, you know, Gen G get ahead of that utility?
Hoping we can see it again here, if possible.
There was obviously a stun set up here for Texture. Oh, it was just the stun, actually.
Yeah, it was the stun that caught.
But the snake bite landed, made it very easy. I think Sadak trying to relay now what maybe the game plan is for Gen G, whether or not they have a read on it, or actually how versatile Gen G can be with Meteor on the Yoru here. We talked about maybe being the approach of damage control in the first half. This is where Gen G can run away with it. They become the question mark here, not Loud.
Exactly that. And a second attempt for Munchkin there. Gonna note Kaunzine spotted him on the first attempt, and a pace change completely here. Gen G shifting gear, a lot slower, a lot more curious across the map. Maybe looking for those adjustments, looking for those changes. Because they've been somewhat in their face, almost brash about it, and it worked really well, but looking to identify the adjustments from Loud. Maybe tube the next port call of at least a few of these players. 3-2 split, it looks like, and there's the ult.
Actually, 3 players up tube here from Gen G.
Are they trying to catch him? Are they almost hurting them back here as well to an extent, right? Like, Loud are sitting deep on this. They don't want to get caught, so the site will now go to Gen G, right? Like, that's just a straight exchange. So now the problem is QCK, belting shot towards Texture, who has been an animal in the last couple of rounds. Can anyone else from Gen G step up? You still have the likes of Caron here, who has been known for those clutching capabilities, but pressured out of position and nowhere really to go. Loud starting to flex a little on the retake as Meteor now left on his own towards Yellow here, towards the back of sight. Gonna note the footsteps, spot the player, and the white swing, it works to an extent. Tease up Cowanzine.
Lucky it does have the Hunter's Fury here, but certainly in terms of the clock, it doesn't feel comfortable. Cowanzine actually gonna send one out of his own. He's gonna find Munchkin. Lucky now, you can see him shaking his head. Doesn't feel comfortable about committing to it. Will have to concede an 11th round to Loud, who just peel away from this so quickly. Gen G almost left, wondering what to do with a free site.
And I kind of like what Loud were up to, right? This is lovely, but it's more how they almost held back utility for this sort of play, right? Completely clearing their way back through perfectly, understanding that they can't hold it frontline, so play it on the retake.
Well, look at the comparison. Coming out of the previous Salax, like, I mean, we just got overwhelmed. There's nothing we can do from behind Yellow there. This is the other side of the coin. Loud, once again, happy to concede space. We saw the same thing on Icebox as well. A good read on what Gen G wanted to do. And now with a much more comfortable scoreline, they have a few more rounds to figure it out, should they need to. Gen G definitely slowed things down from the first few rounds. Bladestorm, Hunter's Fury to work with. Comfortable in the purchase other than Texture, but...
Okay. They've been trying to be quiet about this, patient about it. Beautiful control and a beautiful follow-up. Can't quite make it a third, but the damage is done. Early information, everything they would have wanted. So the three remaining, Lakia, Munchkin, Meteor, don't really have a big foothold anywhere on the map here, Mike.
Yeah, a little awkward on the spacing. Gen G punished for it. They'll find themselves in a 3v4. I mean, Loud elsewhere. It's only really going to be Cowanzine that's going to get any audio cues here, but the rest of the utility from less in position to really spell out what this post plant will look like. Gen G commit to the spike now. I mean, 30 seconds left. Cowanzine already in the back lines.
Oh, this could be criminal. This could be criminal. So little safety. Oh,
no.
Munchkin, that's a heartbreaking moment there. Cowanzine closing in. He's going to say bye-bye, Lakia. And now Meteor having to find something, no value to be had as Munchkin now. After what was a moment possibility that slipped through his fingertips there. He's going to be kicking himself on that one.
It's a round-winning moment there for Munchkin. Just too many targets to shoot at. A little bit of a fumble, but this will be Loud on 12 now. I said Gen G were comfortable in the purchase, but now no room for error. Has to be flawless from here on out for Gen G. Otherwise, we will be going to Ascent.
Oh. And I was almost hoping we saw the moment from Munchkin. As rough as that was the swing moment. Yeah, you can see it. There it is. Yeah. It's so difficult. What was it, 3 players up there? What a difference that could have made. And it would have been a small lifeline, bearing in mind that Gen G were working uphill, to say the least. This has been an incredibly hard game to come back from. That first half was not good. They're probably not very happy with it. Second half started off with a bang eventually, but then somewhat slowing down. Losing a little bit of that spark to it. You see Kate looking to take heads. As Texture creeps closer up middle, but he's alone. This is a solo somewhat endeavor. Yes, with a little bit of utility help from Caron, but that's about it.
See how quickly Sadax over here to try and support Cowanzine. QCK so holding on to the backside of Nest as well. I think almost there with Lakia jump spot, and it's trying to put Texture in a position to punish that operator. Loud, pretty well equipped for it.
Knife probably caught 3 there, or 2 at the very least, I think. And now the pressure's starting to come towards the site. 3 through middle, 2 through main. Flash there, Sadak goes in, gets handled though. 1-for-1 trade out, Texture still alive. Gonna let Meteor work his way in. Here's gonna be Les holding from CT, 1 on site. Still some problems to try and clear, and Les making himself the problem. Good trade for Meteor, but he needs a bit more. Plant gonna come down, and they still haven't fully cleared site yet.
Kaunzin's still here.
And that's...
What?
Okay, Lark, yeah, fair enough. That's the kill you're gonna get. No worries, didn't expect that one. But QCK's position might be unraveled. Munchkin this time should be good for it.
Munchkin will have heard that drop. Was baiting up here with the wall. A crucial kill for him, and it's a freebie. QCK falls. 2E's now left to try and recover.
Nice.
Back here to seal the deal. 7th on the board now. Need another couple to break the money. Loud able to still purchase comfortably, and actually with the pick coming online here, an opportunity for Loud to maybe counterbalance that a little bit, leave 2E's in a position to anchor here. Because Gen G have slowed things down. There's an opportunity for Loud to maybe exploit that. Go exploring, they do have rounds to play with. Well, they're happy for, Gen G to continue making, in their eyes, mistakes, I guess.
Are they going back to what we saw before? Or no, definitely not the same pace to what we saw, but looking to maybe deal with QCK. Yeah, they've been noting that jump spot that you've mentioned, just that round prior, but that has been a constant. This time punished by Texture with the operators, not able to kind of do that same presence in middle, but look at this. On the other side of the map over by Elbow, Kaunzin going to spot one. That could actually cause a little bit of confusion almost. For Loud, do they continue to commit to being close? They're going to be both spotted. Surely, they've got to make a run for it. 2E's got to get out of danger. Texture trying to close the gap a little. Kaunzin does find Munchkin, so the backline worry should be gone. Ult going to come in and Meteor plays ahead. Big pick towards 2E's. But again, they didn't expect Sadak so close by. That flash, does it bank in? I think it might do. But the plant is in, and they are going to sit deep on this.
See already now. Tricky position for Loud to try and recover from. Actually, got the tag onto Karen here, so some of that utility outplay for the time being. A miss from Texture, 39 HP.
The timing isn't going to be great now. They've got to get back to having that presence on the spike, and Sadak with a great read, but Lucky with greater positioning. Going to catch Kaunzin. Another tap on the spike, and now it's going to get so difficult for Sadak. 1 in front, 1 to the side, and no time to play with. It's 8 for Gen G. Step by step, they are not out of this game just yet.
Bring it through, and a couple of members of Loud yet still above 2K, but now starting to struggle just a little bit. That's expected to see the timeout at this point. The last few rounds, we've been saying they've had rounds to play with. The investment comes here. There's a chance for Gen G to really turn up the heat here.
Yeah, this is when it gets fun, isn't it?
Yep.
Because you might get... I want to add into this as well. We've got 2 ults already on deck. We've got Meteors and Munchkins. Then you have Luckier not too far away too for his. So these are big ults, round-changing ults that can completely turn it. So they're going to have that as, a fallback plan if they need it. But if they keep going like this, they've got some nice little reads. Again, just that almost assassination of QCK holding tube, completely isolating the rest of the players.
Which is exactly the sort of thing you want to see there. But if they are going to slow things down, you want to see them have tangibles to action upon. Find somebody to be able to isolate. So that's a huge positive. The problem being is there enough? Like I said, with absolutely no margin for error, is there enough for Gen G to really fall back on? Now you've removed the operator. Maybe there's not as much of a requirement to find out players like QCK, dig them out of spots. See what the adjustment is for Loud coming out of this.
Okay, so they've got
tempered purchase. They're trying to keep, play their cards very close to their chest.
So your danger players, Les, Sadak, and 2E's. 2E's no armor, keep in mind, so Les and Sadak are your heavy hitters. Actually, switch up?
Yeah, I was going to say, Les's utility now. Flash sets QCK in motion, but does what Karen ballsy on the repeat there. Lucky not to get punished. But Gen G almost anticipating a little bit of aggression to come out here.
Oh, the timing on this. Texture, did you miss him? You absolutely
did. So
now Kaunzin's been let off.
What? He's rechecking it.
Oh, the guy's just Texture.
And it's at the perfect time. He was about to shoot Karen in the back there.
That feels almost...
But he did. Karen's down to 5 HP.
I don't know how he felt that time. Maybe hearing a step, but it felt like he was already on that trajectory. So now QCK fancies another bite of the cherry, but he's going to miss the window. They're already heading away from here, but they're hurting them. 3 players going to be waiting on that B site. Sadak only has a classic though again, but the rest have rifles.
A little bit of a misread here from Gen.G. Loud. Be able to position themselves to maybe be in a position to punish this.
Can they still be so diligent about it? It gets so dangerous, right? The slow, oh my word, too. He's going to isolate Meteor. That's great. Held at the door, 30 seconds now. They're starting to run low on time, and there's no fallback plan because look at the flank. He pulled the trigger on the first, which I'm surprised by, but it's an issue. They have to clear him somehow.
20 seconds.
They just have to run. You can't stop. There is no stopping now. And QCK, a little short on the day there, just to, needs to, there we go. Does get it through. Spike gonna go down. Nothing should be able to stop that here. Karon's just gonna try and play out his life, buy some time for this. Oh,
it's all coming apart.
Falls, and now there's problems. Now it's down to 2. Texture. Oh
my God!
Double, a chance, a glimmer of hope. Can he hold on to it? Can he do it for his side? Keep them in this game. Oh, a snap, but it goes astray. Tui's the one to break him in this game. And the one to take Loud further in this matchup.
There's a world there.
There's a world.
Where Tex is able to compose himself after that collapse, regain his footing. But Loud able to close things out, 13-8. Just that first half, too dominant in my eyes. Gen.G maybe feeling a little, I guess, apprehensive to really commit to some of the, I guess, mystery around this composition. Unable to get it really going in the second half, and a shame really, but wow, I mean, the question mark of Breeze all settled now.
But now we head towards Ascent, and I cannot wait for that one.